right, so when we add or subtract fractions and mixed numbers, we know we have to find a common denominator. And so for 2 and 5, that would be 10. And so the first fraction is going to turn into 5 tenths with a whole number in front. And the second number will be, let's see, 2 tenths with a negative one in front. Remember, the parentheses are just there to kind of separate these two signs. You don't have to write the parentheses. And so we now look and ask ourselves, are the signs different or are they the same? Since they are different, we need to find the difference, which means we need to subtract. Now, the way that it's written right now is the way that you should subtract, right? You always want to put the quote unquote bigger number first, smaller number last. And we aren't going to need to borrow or anything because 5 is bigger than 2. So we can go ahead and just do it. All right, so 5 tenths minus 2 tenths is, of course, 3 tenths. And then 1 minus 1 is nothing. And so the last step that I want you to figure out is whether it's going to be a positive 3 tenths or a negative 3 tenths. All right, moving on to the second one, we're going to leave change opposite. And again, we need common denominator, and again, it's going to be 10. So the nice thing is this last fraction just stays exactly the way it is. That's still negative 9 tenths. For this one, we're going to have negative 3, and in this case, we multiply by 2 in the bottom, so we're going to get 6 tenths, and we're adding these. All right, at this point, you have a decision to make. You can either leave them as they are and add them, or you can change this one into an improper fraction. Because I saw more problems when you left them as they are, I'm going to do it that way so you can hopefully see where you went wrong. All right, so we decide that since they're both the same sign, they both have negatives, we're going to add them. And at this point, you really forget about the signs. We're going to tackle that at the end, but right now, we're adding these two fractions together, so we're going to treat them as if they don't have any negatives at all. So this is 3 and 6 tenths, and this is 9 tenths. So when we put those together, we get 15 tenths. And then 3 and nothing make just plain old 3. And then we do know it is negative, so now we bring the negative in the front here. Now we can't leave it like this because first of all, it's not simplified, and second of all, it's a mixed number and improper fraction combination, which doesn't make any sense. So if we want to keep it as a mixed number, we just first of all need to go ahead and simplify this fraction. So this would still be a whole number of negative 3, and then this is going to simplify. We can divide both of these by 5 to 3 halves. But now we need to think, okay, well, 3 halves is an improper fraction. And if I want this as a mixed number, I need to change it. So again, we forget about the signs for right now. 3 halves is the same thing as 1.5. And now we put these together. If you want to think about the signs, remember, both of these are negative. I mean, when you have a mixed number that's negative, that means every part of it is negative, not just the whole number. So really, if you want to think about this, this is a negative 1.5. So now when we put these together, we have a negative 3 and we have a negative 1.5. What would that answer be? Hope this helps.